Hello and welcome back to the Back Post. I'm Josh, and as usual, before we get into today's video, if you're new here, if you haven't already, there is a subscribe button, and if you like what we do here, we'd absolutely love it if you wouldn't mind giving it a press. Comment below, give us a like. If you genuinely like, the Tottenham content I'm doing, the Chelsea content Jay's doing, and the United content Adam's doing, I have to ask. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it would be fantastic. So that's that out of the way, and we're going to talk about the Carabao Cup final, Tottenham versus City. Are we going to win? Probably not. No, it's such a difficult one, but before we get into our form and City's form and the game itself, it's just a moment to say I was in such a difficult predicament last week with knowing this final was on the horizon, seeing all the Super League things come out, genuinely wondering if I could sit and watch Tottenham, knowing, what we tried to do. And it was a really tricky one. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, I probably would have watched the final, but even though the Super League battle and the modern football battle is far from over, it's really nice that the main threat has been put aside for now, and as much as there is definitely a fight that has to be fought there at some point, it's so nice to be out of the way and just being able to watch now Ryan Mason lead Tottenham Hotspur out into a cup final against Manchester City, and no matter what happens, I can just at least enjoy that. So thank God that's all over with before this game. Yeah, it's a strange one. I think if you are going to play a final against Manchester City, it's okay to be so unconfident you're almost confident, if that makes sense. You're so like, well, if we lose, it's City. We can't be bantered for losing against City in a final, and we know the resources and the team and the form that City have. So even though I want to give everything behind Tottenham, and I genuinely believe we can do this, I genuinely believe we can go to Wembley and lift that cup, I really do. It is Man City, and weird Tottenham teams have beaten Man City in the recent history. I mean, look at the result. I mean, technically we lost, but look at the result at the Etihad in the Champions League quarterfinals. Look at earlier last season, was it the second half of last season, where Steven Bergwijn scored on his debut, and City battered us with 30 shots. These things happen. I think in order to get something out of tomorrow, get anything out of tomorrow, the trophy, Tottenham are going to have to rely on luck. I can already see that crossbar being struck a few times. But the one thing that I do think tomorrow, which is all I can ask for as a Tottenham fan, is a positive outlook to this game. And we are going to that game and we're shoving our balls on that table. We're going, we're Tottenham Hotspur and we are here to win. And I had this chat with Jay and Adam earlier, and they both said to me, it's mad you've got rid of Mourinho, because you've brought him in for these finals, and if you want a man for a final against Pep Guardiola, it's Jose Mourinho, and Tottenham are idiots. What are they doing? And I disagree with that. I disagree with that massively, because if we go into that final tomorrow, and we'll talk about Harry Kane in a sec, and Harry Kane's not fit, Dele Alli's on the naughty step, Gareth Bale's on the naughty step, Toby Alderweireld doesn't get a look in, Joe Rodon's cup tied. And look at that, who does that leave us with? Bergwijn doesn't get a mention under Mourinho. Winks doesn't get a mention under Mourinho. And in some cases, rightly so, they have not shown enough this season. But the thing is, there doesn't seem to be a way back with Mourinho. I think Harry Redknapp said 7 years ago, or something like that Gareth Bale is the type of player that needs an arm around his shoulder and to be told, you know what, even though you should know you're brilliant, you are brilliant, let's go and win this. And I completely get why we had to purge the negativity of Mourinho before this final, because we've got quality players that would sit on the bench, and yeah, we might have only lost 1 or 2-0, but I do not believe under Jose Mourinho we would have taken the fight to City tomorrow. But now I'm sat here, and even if we go down, I know that we're going to go down swinging. I'm sure of it. But who is going to go down swinging? Because that's the real question. Harry Kane has apparently, as of yesterday, it's the day before now, didn't train. My gut instinct is he's going to make the bench, but I don't think he'll start. But then again, I might be joined to mind games. Like, if I'm Ryan Mason, I'm not telling anyone what Kane's doing. I'm keeping him as a complete secret. I'm letting, City prepare for a fluid game with Bale, Son and Lucas. And, and if we have to play like that's exciting in itself under Ryan Mason, I believe. But I have a sneaky feeling that Kane could come back, but I'm going to say on the bench. So where does that leave us? What does Tottenham play? I could do a nice graphic here of the team that I believe will play tomorrow, but I really don't need to, because I think it was clear as day that Kane dependent Ryan Mason used Southampton as the template going forward. I think that's why he didn't play Rodon. He went, any player here that I can't pick on Sunday, I'm not going to pick now, because there's no point. This is a dress rehearsal, and that's why Rodon didn't even make the squad. That's my gut instinct. So it goes without saying that I think on Sunday we'll be seeing Hugo Lloris, captain, goalkeeper, Eric Dyer and Toby at the back. Yes, that is scary, but Toby Alderweireld is the best defender at the club, and I'm shocked that we haven't been playing him more. Eric Dyer does scare me, but he had a solid game against Southampton. I just do worry that there is a mistake in there. Reguilon and Aurier, either side. I think they're the obvious choices for this season. Sort of that fluid midfield three of Højbjerg at the base with Ndombele and Lo Celso either side of him, further ahead of him, I should say. And then if Kane's not there, it's going to be Bale, Lucas and Son. If Kane is there, I think just like in the Champions League final, Son might drop out. Kane goes in there. Mora can make an impact later on. Does he deserve more? Probably, but if Kane doesn't play, exactly as we were against Southampton, even down to the subs, we brought on Eric Lamela, Steven Bergwijn and Harry Winks, and unless we're in the lead or in desperate need for a goal, a Sanchez or a Dele Alli could come in there. But no, I think that almost down to the minute of the substitution, we could see the same plan from Ryan Mason. And Ryan Mason said himself, you can prepare documents and pages on philosophy and what's your footballing philosophy and what's your plan of action. Are you going to tactically outwit Pep? That's not what tomorrow's about. It's a cup final. And just for one game, Ryan Mason needs to remind Gareth Bale how many finals he single-handedly won. Overhead kicks against Liverpool, running off and on the pitch against Barcelona. We've got game winners in this squad for tomorrow. And, if Harry Kane's there, even better. But if not, I still believe we have a chance. Obviously, our form going into this has been terrible. But I don't really think there's much point talking about this post-Mourinho form. This new manager bounce looked like it wasn't coming against Southampton. The first half, they were all over us. Hugo made a breathtaking double save in the first few minutes, followed by us conceding quickly after. Southampton were on top all game, but whatever Ryan said to them at half-time really seemed to get through to those players, because we came out and we just looked fluid and we looked excited and we looked like Premier League attacking footballers, which we haven't looked like. There was none of this sitting off. We didn't sit off and wait for South after the second, it was the 90th minute, but we didn't, get it to 1-1 and then slowly go, okay, let's get. We went, no, let's go again, let's go. And we could have scored before the penalty. A fantastically worked goal. Obviously, Lucas was stood offside, which meant Son's goal didn't count. So we could have won it earlier on. In the end, it was decided by a penalty that was reckless, and we got lucky with that. But if you get a goal disallowed, then a penalty, Tottenham deserved to win that game. City, at the same time, they had quite a strange game against Villa, falling behind in 20 seconds. Again, I'm not sure you can read too much into this, because Stones got sent off, Cash got sent off. It ended up being 10v10. It stayed 2-1. I can imagine it was one of those games where if both teams had 11 men, City would have actually won by more, but we'll never know. It was a bit of a weird write-off game for them. I think I might be mistaken here, but I'm pretty sure that Stones red cards means that City will be guaranteed to have Laporte and Diaz, so Tottenham can't rely on one of those rare John Stones mind melts where Gareth Bale could nick it off him and score. So I was really hoping that, he'd probably have a class game against us, but that there's that element of fear with John Stones. And if I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong, but I think those carry domestically, so I don't think he can play. I'm not going to go through the City team. We know who we're going to see. Will Aguero make an appearance at some point and, do one final thing for Man City? I mean, might have a Champions League final to do that in too. Yeah, no, it's normally gets to that point in the video now where Jay will ask me, all right, go on then, what's your score prediction? And I think we're going to win 2-1 in the 90 minutes. I think City will out-possession us. I think City will out-shoot us. I think City will scare us. But I just think Ryan Mason lifting the Carabao Cup at Wembley, it's got a ring to it. And, obviously I think that because I'm a Tottenham fan, but I've got a hunch. Anyway, I'll be watching the game tomorrow. Unless something horribly goes wrong, I'll put a fan cam out after it. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think's going to play. Tell me who you think the approach is going to happen. Just tell me what you think's going to happen in the game. I'm expecting a few comments, if any, saying City are going to twat you. But, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. Let us win the first trophy in 13 years. And please build from there because, we've been to finals now. Sorry, I sound like I was rounding off there, didn't I? But no, we've been to finals. We've been to Champions League finals. We've played Chelsea in an FA Cup final. We've been to a few semi-finals. We lost to United in the semi-final of an FA Cup. Yeah. We need this. Do I go as far to say we deserve this? The football, anyone that's not a Tottenham fan will hear me say this next sentence. And when I say that the football that we played over the period of 5 years deserves a trophy, they go, but you didn't get one, so it doesn't. I get that point of view, but any Tottenham fan knows, Christ, we played some good stuff and we're not playing that good stuff anymore. But it would just be typical, wouldn't it, to have these wonderful years with Pochettino football, fluid, dynamic, aggressive, amassing the most points in a 2 bloody season period, but falling off. So Leicester won, then Chelsea won. Like, these are all things that Tottenham fans know. But how typical would it be to have this era of the Poch, get serial winner Mourinho in, and end up Ryan Mason winning a trophy? So, Spursy. Anyway, yeah, no, I am going to go because it's a lovely day and I've got things to do before the final tomorrow. But yeah, come on, you Spurs. 2-1. Please, let's do it. No one wants to see. Come on. Tell your dad. Thank you very much. Goodbye. I'm done.